Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you are easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. For those of you who still remain, today's reading will be on the topic of how is their new relationship going? This is for those of you who know that your ex is currently with a new partner and that they're in a new relationship. If you do not know whether or not your ex is currently seeing someone new, you should check out this video here instead and then come back to this video if that one did indeed tell you that they are seeing someone else. So you have 4 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Merlinite. Pile number 2 is the Smoky Quartz. Pile number 3 is the Rose Quartz. Pile number 4 is the Amethyst. Pause the video if you need more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Merlinite, welcome to your reading. So these cards at the top here from the Energy Oracle will give me insight into what transpired between the two of you. These cards here from the Wisdom of the Oracle will give me insight into the current energy of your ex's current relationship with their new partner. These cards here on the left, the archetypes, will give me insight into how your ex feels about their current partner. And these archetype cards on the right will give me insight into how your ex's current partner feels about them. So right off the bat, it seems like there was some sort of misunderstanding that happened between the two of you guys. With this deceit card on the end, they were probably lying to you about something, and it's kind of looking like they might have been seeing someone else behind your back. And it very well might have been the person that they're currently with. It kind of looks like they left you for the person that they're currently with. Or they were seeing them behind your back and you found out about it and decided to end things. And then they decided to make their relationship with the person they were seeing on the side official. It looks like with this Door to Spirit card over here in reverse, that you guys were probably soulmates or karmic soulmates. There's some sort of energy of having known each other before in a past life, or having just like some sort of strong connection with this person. So I think you were kind of blindsided when they did this to you. And just because someone is your soulmate doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to treat you right, especially if they were a karmic soulmate. Then that's, you know, just chaotic. But I'm not really picking up an energy of chaos in this group. It seems like a relationship that was doing pretty well and that was pretty stable, except for, you know, the obvious small arguments here and there. But for the most part, it seemed pretty stable, and it seemed like it kind of blindsided you when you found out about this third-party situation. For the most part, with this card here, Cornucopia, it seems like you thought everything was going fine. And then when you found out, you were just blindsided and you probably kicked them out or you left them. And so I'm feeling very heavily that the person that they cheated on you with is the person that they're currently in a relationship with. So let's see what else I can see. Yeah, there's some sort of ending. For some of you, this may have been the ex of your ex who they were cheating on you with. A small percentage of you, this could have been their baby mama. So someone they were involved with before they met you, and they kind of started hooking up again. But regardless, that's in the past. So what is the current energy of their relationship with their new partner? They seem to be pretty it seems to be pretty stable. Just off of these cards here, it seems to be going pretty well. There is a lot of openness in this relationship, a lot of healing. It really looks like they were together before in the past. This seems like they're coming back together. So this was probably an ex or someone they were seeing before. They broke things off with them at some point, and then they got back together with them. And they got back together with them after, or maybe during, while you guys were still together. Yeah, this is because I'm having a vision of like I'm seeing, I don't know if you remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She had like two soulmates, and I remember Harvey was the main one, but she also had another one. And at one point she was engaged to the other one, and then she broke it off to get with Harvey again. So this is kind of like someone who your ex was seeing before you, and then they broke it off with you to go back to the old person. So it seems to be going pretty well. With this yin card here, it seems like they are pretty receptive to each other. It looks like they're having a lot of sex. They are having a lot of fun. They are happy to be back together. I feel like these two are also soulmates. So this is actually really like the Sabrina situation. It seems like you're their soulmate, but this person is also their soulmate as well. There's a lot of tradition happening here. They may be engaged already. This is a general reading, so it may not be for every one of you right now, but if they're not already engaged, he's probably already thinking about proposing to her. Your ex has their eyes, they're pretty much focused on their partner. This really seems like they are stable. They are stable. This is a connection from a past life. And I don't know, you might be wondering if they're going to break up soon. I don't see a breakup at all in the near future. In fact, I see a strengthening of their connection. Like I said, this really seems heavily like they're going to get engaged if they are not already engaged at this point. So so let's use these archetype cards to get some more information about what your ex feels about their partner. So we have Saboteur in reverse. I'm seeing this as meaning that they have pretty much ceased with their saboteur ways. In the past, they probably, I don't want to say playboy because that still seems too heavy for them. They really don't seem like that type, but maybe in the past they were not very stable with their partner, or they didn't have a lot of stable relationships. This relationship seems really stable, and I feel like that's how they picture their new partner. They picture their new partner and relationship as being really stable, and as helping them to get out of their ways, the way they used to sabotage themselves and their old relationships. Hedonist in reverse. Okay. Like I said with the yin card, I mean, do I need to say it again? They are pretty much in the honeymoon stage, even if they are not married. They are going at each other day and night, multiple times a day probably. They each have a lot of energy, a lot of sexual energy for each other. Mystic. Yeah, your ex feels like their current partner is a soulmate. They really feel a strong connection with them from a past life, like I said. Storyteller in reverse. Okay, again, I'm picking up with this card that there is a strong connection between the two of them. They have a lot in common. They have a lot to talk about. They do not get bored of each other's company at all in the slightest. Your ex feels like their current partner has a lot of interesting stories from their past and from work and just in general. They find them extremely interesting, extremely captivating. Okay, so what does your ex's current partner feel about your ex? We have Martyr upright. They feel your ex is putting a lot of energy into this current relationship. They are going above and beyond to please their current partner. So your ex's current partner really appreciate the energy that your ex is putting into their relationship. This person is devoting a lot of their attention to them, and they're pretty much devoted to their every need. All that the partner has to do is say, hey, I feel like ice cream, and your ex is going to go out and buy them ice cream. Or if they say, or even if they have it in the freezer, they're going to get up themselves to go get some for them. There is a lot of devotion going on. We have Eternal Child in reverse. Your ex's partner feels that your ex is really playful, and you probably felt that energy as well. But as soon as I said that, I picked up for some of you did not feel that energy, because with your relationship, their more serious side came out a lot more. So now they can feel in this new relationship they can relax, and they are having a lot of fun. A lot of fun. They are being silly, they're being childish, they're comfortable. They're much more comfortable with this new partner. So your ex's new partner sees them as very playful and exciting and childlike and innocent and sweet. And I really feel for a good chunk of you guys. Like, of course, there was a large group of you guys who saw this side, but I'm picking up a large chunk of you guys who did not see this side, because your person came off a little bit more stern, a little bit more serious than the side that they're showing to their new partner right now. Messiah, okay. Your ex's partner feels like your ex is a gift from God. She or he sees them as very intelligent, spiritual even, but just a gift from the divine. So she or he sees them as being their soulmate as well. Child divine. What did I get before? Eternal child. Yeah. Again, highly connected to the divine. Maybe your ex went through a bit of a transformation, which is probably a double meaning for this card as well. After their breakup with you, they learned a lot of things, which is why I even said over here with the saboteur card, I said that they're no longer sabotaging their relationships. Things are more stable for them. They're making things more stable. They're putting more effort into things. So your ex's partner feels like they are very innocent. They don't see any deception. And which is why I don't feel like your ex is really a deceptive type. Which is why I said at the beginning I wasn't seeing a lot of chaotic energy. It seems like everything was going pretty decently, except for this one bombshell that came about, that you found out that he or she was cheating on you. And I feel like he wasn't cheating on you because he was just a douchebag. It was because he actually fell in love with this current partner who he's with. This is really like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt you, but I'm in love with this other person. That's what it was. It's not them just wanting to get their whistle wet. It was that they were and they are in love with their current partner. That's what happened. So, if they told that to you and you didn't believe them, it's the truth. I'm seeing it here. But I feel like you probably already know this. They're not the type to to run around like just for fun. They were devoted to you. You may even have a child with them. I'm picking up that some of you have a child with them. I'm seeing kind of a child. For some of you, it's this new person who has the child with them, and it's their baby mama, and they went back to their baby mama. And for others of you, you're the one who has a child. So your ex's partner sees your ex as devoted to them and as sweet and as innocent, as very genuine, which I'm picking up is different from the other people that they were with before this person. We have Fool in reverse. Again, a lot of fun. Your ex is a comedian. So I kept picking that up a couple times. So your ex is fun. They're a comedian. I'm getting heavy air sign. Heavy air sign. This person has come out of their shell. And even I'm picking up earth and air. These are the two that I'm seeing. This person has, and water. Okay, as soon as I said that, I'm hearing earth, air, and water sign. Your person has come out of their shell with this new person. And so their partner sees them as being very authentic, very genuine, very exciting, very happy, very fun, very amusing, and very good in bed. So, I mean, this is like a love story type of reading. There's nothing here that is, ill meaning. There was no ill will. Your ex doesn't hold any ill will towards you. It just didn't work out. You weren't really the one for them. That's nothing against you. But it really looks like they've met their soulmate. So I wouldn't be surprised if they contact you or you hear through the grapevine, through a friend of a friend soon, that they're getting married. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that resonated and I hope it helped you. Let me know and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 2. Welcome to your reading if you chose the smoky quartz. So these cards here from the Energy Oracle will give me insight into what transpired between the two of you. These cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle will give me insight into the current energy of their current partnership. These cards from the archetypes on the left will give me insight into how your ex currently feels about their new romantic partner. And these archetype cards on the right will give me insight into how your how your ex's romantic partner feels about them currently. So it looks like you guys had some sort of falling out in regards to home life or the finances. Maybe someone moved away for work, or maybe someone got a promotion at work and or you guys got into a fight about business. Maybe you guys had a business together. Someone decided to go another direction with regards to maybe where they live. Maybe they decided they wanted to move to another city because they got a job offer. Or maybe they decided that the other person wasn't making as much money as them, or they weren't putting enough energy into stabilizing your joint finances, and they decided that they wanted to move on to quote unquote better things. Like maybe they had dreams of being with someone who was more financially stable, and it seems like it was you who decided that your ex was not financially stable enough and you decided to leave them. Or you got a job offer in a new city and you decided to move away. There was some sort of issue with the home life, location, or job, or money, or finances that caused you guys to break apart. Some sort of instability and insecurity with regards to that. Current energy of their current partnership, their current relationship. This seems to be a pretty new partnership, so it doesn't seem like it has been going on for a long time. There, it's it doesn't seem like it's official right now. They're seeing each other. They might be seeing each other just for sexual purposes, like hookups, or they might just be in the beginning stages of dating, but no one has made it official yet. It doesn't seem, it's not serious. It's not a serious relationship. This is actually different from the last group I read because that relationship was really serious. This one is not serious. There is a lot of contemplation that is happening within this relationship. It's not entirely clear yet who is doing it, but I'm really leaning towards your ex more than their current partner, but it's probably the both of them, and I'm going to find out more with these archetype cards later on. But I'm not sure your ex fully wants to be with this person that they're with, or they're unsure. They're just unsure. They're taking their time. They're taking it slowly. I think maybe they were burnt and they were hurt. That's probably what happened, but not by this person. It was probably by you. They're still kind of hurt over the breakup and the last relationship. They probably saw what you did to them as a betrayal, and now they're not so sure that they want to jump into a new relationship, and or they're just not super interested in the person that they're currently seeing. Like I said, for some of you, I'm seeing this as being a hookup, but a very stable hookup type of relationship. So a constant fuck buddy that they're with. So it's not that serious. Or like I said, they're dating, but it's not anywhere near the serious level that it was with you. So it seems like they're trying to get their mental state together and their emotional state together before they jump back into a serious relationship. They probably are not very trusting of this person, and like I said, I really feel like it's because of you. They're not trusting of this new person. They might be insecure. Like I said, if it really was correct that this person did not make as much money as you and that put a strain on your relationship, now they're insecure that they don't feel like they can bring a lot to this new relationship. And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily dating someone currently who makes as much money as you did. Most likely they're not, but they're still insecure about the fact that their financial state or their ability to provide was not up to par for your standards, and now they still don't feel like they can provide as well for this new person, so they don't want to make it official. They don't want to make it official because of that insecurity. They might also, for some of you, be in between jobs, so they're currently unemployed. Maybe as soon as I said that, I saw that for what happened for a lot of you guys is that your person quit their job or they were fired, but they were unemployed for a long period of time, and you were picking up a lot of the slack in the house. That's what happened for a lot of you guys. So they may have been unemployed for way longer than the both of you thought that they would have been, and they ended up becoming sort of a couch potato, and you were paying for all the bills and all the outings, all the expenses, and it was starting to take a toll on your relationship. So that's probably what happened for a large chunk of you. Yeah. So like I said, he or she is still, but I'm picking up heavy he energy, male energy for your ex. He's still trying to see where this new relationship is going. He's not jumping into anything serious at the moment. He's not taking it seriously. He probably still has feelings for you, in all honesty. Because with this thinking card, and it's so close to the woman holding a coin over there, it looks like not only is he thinking about the state of himself and his finances and emotional and financial security, but he's also thinking about you and what he lost with you. So let's see what he feels about his current romantic partner. We have Rebel in reverse. And this card just tells me that he is not taking the relationship seriously. He's keeping it on a very casual basis. He's keeping a distance between the two of them. He is not making it official. And sorry, I'm going to continue calling him a he because, like I said, that's the energy I'm picking up, but make it resonate if your ex is a female. Detective. So yeah, he's still searching for meaning. He's still searching for the right person. He's still searching for meaning in his life. I feel like he's kind of questioning his whole existence and his whole ability to provide. So he's still looking for the one. The person that he's with is not the one. That's not his soulmate. That's not the person he's going to marry. That's not the one. He's still looking for the one. Virgin. So he sees them, this person, because I did pick it up a bit over here, but I didn't mention it. But I think that he's with someone who's younger than you. And the reason for that is not so much aesthetic as it is the fact that people, especially women who were younger, have lower standards. Because by the time you reach a certain age, like about 30 and over, you expect a certain amount of financial and emotional and social stability for a romantic partner, because you're thinking about settling down, having children, and having a family and such. But a girl who's like, say, 21, 22, doesn't really care that much. So the person that he's with is younger than you, for sure. For sure. And she also has a lower job and a lower income than you, for sure. So this is helping him to feel a little bit more secure in his masculinity. He did not feel secure in his masculinity around you because you're a go-getter. And it does not necessarily mean that you make a shit ton of money, because I literally just saw for some of you that you're nurses. But the thing is, you're a hard worker. So you're working overtime, you're working long shifts. You're always on your feet all day, every day. You come home and he hasn't done a lot of the housework because he's unemployed. He's at home most of the time, and he has barely done anything in the house. And he also hasn't really put a lot of effort into searching for a job. So even if your position is not, you don't make a lot of money, you still have a stable income and you're working full time. And like I said, I did see nurses for a good chunk of you guys, but it could be anything. Even I just saw administrative assistant as well. So even if you're not the top dog at the company, you're still working full time. You're still working all the hours, and you were still paying for everything. So the person that he's with is really young. Honestly, I'm picking up like 20, 21, 22. And you seem at least 30. But it's just an energy. You have your shit together way more than they do. And they could have also been younger than you too. But in terms of, it's just energy. So even if they were physically older, like in terms of their physical years, they are not as mature as you are. They need to figure stuff out. They just need to figure stuff out. They need to figure out what they want to do with their life. I feel like the reason that they, and this is sort of hijacking this reading right now, but I feel like the reason that they didn't jump back into the workforce so quickly, yes, partially the economy, because I'm really seeing them continuously blaming the economy and blaming the fact that they are indeed sending out resumes, but no one's responding. But it's subconscious. They were subconsciously manifesting denials and failure, like denial letters, like rejection letters, which from companies. They were manifesting that subconsciously because they did not want to go back to that same old job, whatever it is that they had before. They weren't inspired by it. They did not want to go back to it. They wanted to do something else, but the problem is they didn't know exactly what they wanted to do. So they were trying subconsciously, I'm saying, they were trying to prolong and give themselves some more time to figure stuff out. They were also depressed because a lot of them, that was their only skill set. That was all they were able to do. They may have been working at that company or in that field for a very long time, and something happened and they lost that job. And they were depressed. they were depressed. So, like I said, they see the person that they're with as very young, very innocent. For some of you, this the person that they're with may have been a virgin before they got with your ex. For some of them, they may have been an actual virgin, but it just means that they are less experienced than you, and they're also much younger and have lower standards for their romantic partners, which is what they're taking advantage of. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. I just mean that they're taking that time with this person with lower standards to heal themselves and to heal their self-esteem, because their self-esteem really went down the drain after they lost that job and after the arguments that you guys had about them not being a man and paying the bills. So this pile is what their current romantic partner feels about them. Vampire. We have vampire in reverse. Yeah, so they actually see your ex as being a leech. They may actually be asking this person for money or asking them to pick them up. Maybe your ex doesn't have a car. And even though this girl's like, 21 or whatever, she probably has a part-time job. She's probably going to school as well and has a part-time job. And he's probably asking her for a lot of things like, oh, can you cook me this? Can you help me with this? Can you do my laundry? Can you pick me up from here? Can you take me there? And he may also just be asking her to spend a lot of time with him because he has a lot of time on his hands, but she doesn't. I don't see her as having a lot of time on her hands. She may be in school, like I said, or she's working part-time or something. And even though she doesn't seem as, well, you know what? It depends. If she's going to school and working, she is as busy as you, if not more. But if she's not going to school, she still is, regardless, more busy than him. So, and I keep pointing there because this is where I see him. I see your energy here and I see his energy there, in case you're wondering what I'm pointing at. This is all clairvoyantly. So she sees him as a kind of a leech. He is leeching her energy and her resources, her time. So before, when I said that he saw her as someone with lower standards who doesn't really care that much about his emotional and financial instability, she notices it. So don't think she's oblivious just because she's young. She notices it right off the bat from the first card. But with this card here, engineer in reverse, she sees him as being really intelligent, but she sees him as being lazy and not using his skills properly. So this guy is probably a really skillful, he probably works in a trade, plumber, electrician, construction, or something like that. He probably works in some sort of trade. She sees him as being very skillful, very ingenious when it comes to fixing things around her apartment, or, just things like that. He's very handy. He's very quick on his feet, quick on with his mind. He might be an air sign, but the thing is, he's not, within reverse, he's not applying his skills. He's being lazy. So he's wasting his skills. Saboteur. Yeah. This is a repeat of the last one. It's a repeat. He's wasting his skills. She sees him as being a bit of a bum, but not a stupid bum. A bum with a lot of potential, but who's wasting his skills. Hero in reverse, she sees him as being a heavy daydreamer, someone who escapes. He probably plays a lot of video games or watches a lot of TV or is always on the internet. He's always escaping from reality. That's how he spends his time. Television, playing sports, playing video games, surfing the internet. That's how he spends all of his time. And she sees him as not putting in a lot of effort, and also sees she sees that she frequently has to come to his aid for things. Like I said before, he's a bit smothering of her. Again, this is literally what I just said. He's smothering. He's like a child. He's like a little puppy dog. She sees him as a pet. That's how she sees him. Okay, he's her little pet, and he sees her as a little pet as well, but she's a much more capable pet. In a few years time, she's much more stable. She's like a mini version of you. Actually, she's a younger version of you. In like 10 years, she's gonna be pretty much like you, but right now she's in the novice stages. So yeah, that's it. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Let me know, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading if you chose the rose quartz. So these cards here from the Energy Oracle will give me insight into what transpired between the two of you. These cards here from the Wisdom of the Oracle will give me insight into the current energy of their current relationship. These archetype cards here on the left will give me insight into how your ex currently feels about their current romantic partner. And these archetype cards here on the right will give me insight into how your ex's current romantic partner feels about your ex. So I can see that you guys were fighting a lot. And you were sick of it. And at some point you decided to leave. You decided you had had enough. For some of you, your ex was cheating on you, and you found out, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But others of you, not necessarily, but just the fighting between the two of you, and even the abuse. For some of you, I see that they may have been really abusive towards you. You at some point you decided that was it. That's enough. You'd had enough, and you left. I feel like this whole thing happened to get you to listen to your intuition a bit more, because before you were, you had closed off your intuition. You were looking at all you were looking at the logical sides of it. You were believing him, and I'm seeing heavy he and male energy for your ex, so I'm just going to refer to him as a he for simplicity purposes, but make it resonate if it's a female you're inquiring about. He was manipulative, he was rude, he was distant, he was argumentative. And I feel like at some point you decided, like I said, that you had had enough, that your life was worth more, your happiness was worth more. Like I said, I feel like this was made to force you to listen to your intuition more, because what he was doing is that he was saying one thing but doing the other. He was probably an air sign. I've picked up a lot of air so far. I think every group I've said air sign, at least for one of the options that the ex was. But I mean, I'm reading the cards. Heavy air sign, perhaps a water sign, but an unbalanced water sign with a lot of fire and or air in his chart. But yeah, so he was saying one thing and doing something else. Like, for example, this is very heavily the energy of someone who would hit you one day and then the next day apologize and say, sorry, I'll never do it again. And then the next week hit you again. Or say, or start a huge argument with you over like almost nothing. Then apologize for it after he'd calmed down like 3 hours later. And have a talk and say, okay, yeah, I'm trying to work on my anger issues. I know I have anger issues. And then like 2 weeks later, blow up at you again for like nonsense. So yeah, that's what happened. At some point you had enough of his. He wasn't changing. He had mental issues and emotional issues. He had anger problems. He was manipulative. He was very deceptive, controlling, may have even been a cheater. But regardless, you had enough. You guys may be empaths. You guys are probably water signs I'm picking up for you, but not necessarily. But this is very the typical empath trying to save the self-destructive narcissist kind of energy that I see here. Anyway, so their current relationship. And it popped back into my head again. Remember, this is only if you know that they're in a relationship. I don't know why that popped back up in my head. Maybe there's some of you who are watching this without having checked out that video that I posted previously to find out whether or not they're in a relationship. So I felt like I had to say that once more for those of you who know that they're in a new relationship. So yeah, I feel like this person with this come to the edge card here, they're still very destructive in their patterns, especially right next to be fair in reverse. They have not really changed. You're probably wondering if they have changed and if the new person that they're with, you know, if they're treating this new person better. Probably not. Change in the wind, blessed in reverse. They have not changed. It's a blessing for you that you are out of their life, that they are out of your life, and that you have moved on. It is not a blessing for the new person that they're with, that they are currently with them. So I see here with this never-ending story, like I said, they have not changed. I know a lot of you are wondering if they've changed. They have not at all. They're still exhibiting the same patterns with this new person, and now this new person is bearing a lot of the same issues. Like this is pretty much, this is the new person, and that's you. Look at you guys together. Do you see that? This is the new girl. That's you. That was you before when you were with him, and this is her now. So it's the same energy. Two different decks, it's the same energy that's happening. And it's with this TikTok in reverse, it's starting to get, it's played out. And I feel like at this point, this girl is wising up to this nonsense and wising up to the fact that he's not going to change. So she's getting there. She's getting there. She needs a little bit more time. I feel like it's the same sort of pattern as it was with you. You know, he's very good with his words. Really heavy Gemini coming through. He's really good with his words. He, you know, he's able to talk his way out of his horrid behavior pretty darn often. But she's slowly wising up to it. So let's take a look of how he feels about her. With this addict card in reverse, right away I'm seeing that he's probably a sex addict. I think that's what it is. He might be a sex addict, he might be a drug addict, or both. Alcoholic, I'm picking up heavily, especially with this card here. Alcoholic, drug addict, sex addict, a mixture of a couple or one of them at least. And I know this was technically, let me just go back, rewind, because as soon as I saw this, that's all I saw. But this is, the pile is supposed to be how he feels about her. It was in reverse. Okay, you know, okay, he sees her as being easily manipulated. He sees her as being a pushover. He sees her as like being addicted to him. She is easily manipulated. And yeah, he sees himself as having dominion over her, as having control over her. That's how he sees her as accepting all of his bullshit excuses. He knows they're bullshit, but he sees himself as being able to play her because she's really naive. Hermit in reverse. Oh my God. Yes, like I said, she's really naive. She is a loner. She probably doesn't have a lot of friends or family. This is how narcissists get their victims. They get empaths who don't really have a strong support system, external support system, and if they do, they cut them off from it. They usually get young girls as well. Because the older you get, you know, you have more experience with these idiots and you're less likely to put up with it. But, you know, these narcissists, even if they're in their 40s or 50s, they're still dating little girls in their early 20s for this reason. So he sees her as being very naive and a loner. He sees her as, oh dear. Oh dear. Because I'm looking at these cards for the first time. I didn't like look at them before, and I literally just saw him throwing money at her. This is probably a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship that he's in currently. And if it's not like officially a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship, it is that same type of energy. So it means that even though officially they are dating, he's still spending money on her, buying her things, paying her bills as a way to appease her and to excuse his bad behavior. And that's probably what he was doing with you as well. Maybe buying you gifts after he beat you, or after a big argument to make you feel better. Or, the days when he wasn't angry or wasn't drinking or wasn't off like doing debauchery. Those days he would take you shopping and stuff like that, buy you this, buy you that. This is exactly what he's doing with her. And another reason why it's easier to use younger girls for this type of behavior as well. Because usually they're, in school, or they're only working part-time entry-level jobs and they need financial help. I'm not saying that older women can't as well, but especially if they're single moms, the older women, but still. Oh God, again, this is bad. This reading is bad. Okay, I have to say something. He sees her as, like I said, being an orphan. She doesn't have a strong support system. She may be similar to you. She doesn't have a strong support system. She doesn't have a lot of family. She doesn't have a lot of friends. If she does, maybe they're in another city. Maybe this is a foreign city or country to her. She is pretty much by herself, or he has effectively cut her off from her support system. Yikes. He's like pretty much adopted her. Like, this is like a daddy-daughter kind of sadistic relationship going on. Oh yeah, exactly. This is just a repetition. He sees her as being like a damsel in distress, and he sees himself as being a big hero who's there to save her and to give her a better life and to help her in this like period of her life. That's how he sees her. So this pile is how she sees him. Okay, so she sees him as being a liar. And right away, like sometimes I usually see something slightly different with this card, but especially in reverse, falsifying information is really coming up strongly, and as well as voyeurism is coming up strongly. I don't think I've ever really read the voyeurism part when reading this card for readings, but she sees him as being a pervert and as being a liar. So she knows, like I said, she knows she's wising up, but she may be stuck in a bad financial and social situation, which is why she's still with him, and she may not have a strong self-esteem. Queen. She sees him as being arrogant, but also a diva. He's very controlling and very demanding, but he's very dramatic in the way that he's controlling and demanding. He's very like, okay, I'm having a vision. Oh dear, I'm not even going to say that. It's a very sexual vision. I'm not, no, I'm just not. Okay, so rescuer. Sorry, I'm still thinking about that vision. Okay, let me just pause this. Okay, so yeah, just basically that vision, it was just a little, without going into details, she sees him as being very controlling, like I said, but also controlling in bed. He's very domineering. And yeah, very domineering in bed. So she sees him as being her help, her assistance during this difficult period of her life. So this is very sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship, but very not the kind that can be, a little healthy. There are kinds that can be healthy if, one is not trying to manipulate the other. The whole point of that relationship is that there's not supposed to be any deception going on, which is why I feel like this is a real, like, official relationship, but it just has the energy of that sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship in the negative aspects of it, not the positive aspects of it where both parties are happy. This is the controlling negative aspects of it. She sees him as being her assistance, her help. She may even be, I just channeled, not for all of you, but for some of you, she may even be a prostitute. And he picked her up, like, and is saying, you know, I'm going to help you so you don't have to work anymore, you know? That's what he's doing. Or he may even be pimping her out. Ouch. I just picked that up for some of you. That's a small percentage of you. But he may be pimping her out and saying, you know, this is how you're going to pay me back for all the money I'm spending on you. Or I'm going to help you get more money. This is how I'm going to help you make more money. Ugh. Dear God. And as soon as I say that, the next card is God. Self-explanatory. This is how she sees him, as her savior, with the rescuer, and with God. Self-explanatory. Don Juan, again, self-explanatory. She sees him as being a player and a pimp. A player, a huge player. So she knows he's not faithful to her. He's controlling and domineering in bed, and he may even pimp her out. But if he doesn't, he at least controls the way she looks and stuff, and tells her, do your hair this way, wear this dress, wear these shoes, because he's a narcissist. He's very aware of other people's opinions, and he exaggerates them, and he has an image to uphold even though he's trash. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that helped you. Let me know, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 4. Welcome to your reading if you chose the amethyst. So these cards from the energy oracle will give me insight into what happened between the two of you. These cards from the wisdom of the oracle will give me insight into the current energy between your ex and their current partner. These archetype cards on the left will show me how your ex feels about their current romantic partner. And these archetype cards on the right will give me insight into how your ex's romantic partner feels about them. So I can see that you guys, well, okay, obviously you guys broke up, but this is a pretty chaotic breakup. This seems like a kind of similar energy to the last pile, but with less ruggedness to it. This is coming off as a couple who were married. This really seems like most of you guys were married, or you were in a long-term relationship. That doesn't mean this is not your pile if that's not true, but this was definitely a serious connection. And for the majority of you guys watching this, you guys were married or were together for like 5+ years. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds kind of hoarse. I don't know why I lost my voice during this reading. Anyways, so it really looks like someone left someone in this connection for someone else. Or at least someone found out that someone was seeing someone else behind their back, and then they left them. I'm getting a couple of things. I don't know if it's you who started an affair, and then your spouse found out about it, and then he or she left you, or you said, you know what, it's great that you found out about it, I'm going to leave you for this person. Or if vice versa, you found out about a long-standing affair that your spouse was having with someone else, and then you said, what the hell? And they said, well, see ya, I'm gonna go with them. Or you're the one who said see ya. This is just really heavily someone having an affair and leaving someone for someone else. And this, with this all tied up card in reverse, like I said, you could have been in a long-term relationship, and this is just you guys having to deal with the fact that you're no longer together after having been together for so many years. But this really seems like a divorce. This is a lot of kind of messy paperwork and physical stuff, like having to split assets, the house, the car, maybe even kids. A lot of splitting of stuff, a lot of messiness that had to be overcome. This is really a divorce. or just a splitting of maybe you guys both, even if you weren't married, maybe you guys both co-owned a condo and you had to deal with that. Someone decided to leave this connection for someone else. And so now you're wondering how your ex is doing in their current partnership. For most of you, of course, it was probably your ex who left you for someone else, because now this is the partnership that you're inquiring about. You want to know, was it worth it for you to break up our marriage, to break up our family for this person? But for some of you, you left them and you're just kind of looking back. You're just wondering how they're doing. So right away, with the Truth Be Told card here and the No Place Like Home in reverse, this person has not found a home. They haven't settled down completely with this new person. And even if they have, on some sort of official way, like they're engaged or they got married to this new person, it is, relationship wise, it is not really as secure as your relationship was with them. It seems like you guys are still in communication with them, because with this card here, I know this row is really supposed to be about their new connection, but it seems like there's still a lot of back and forth between you and your ex. And like I said, if you resonate with it being a divorce, it's probably your lawyers going back and forth with each other, and if there's custody battles or sharing of custody, you guys are still in communication, but it's not pleasant. You guys are not very nice to each other when you see each other. You guys, okay, so with this to the sea card here, this person is really trying to move on, which is why it's looking to me like you were the one who left them for someone else. But again, this is a general reading, and that doesn't necessarily, mean that they weren't the ones who left you for someone else. But maybe they thought that the person they left you for would be better than you. And it's probably because there was some issue going on between the two of you, and they're hoping that this person they left you for would be better. They're really looking for a stable long-term relationship right next to this higher power card. So this person is not coming off as a playboy or a playgirl. So which is why it seems like if they were the one who cheated, it's because it really looks like there was an issue, a previous issue in your relationship that caused them to cheat, and they didn't cheat. Maybe it started off the affair for superficial, wet my whistle kind of reasons, but it evolved because that person was listening to them and you probably weren't listening to them, and they felt good with this person. But either way, regardless of who did what and during your relationship, this person, your ex, is searching for a stable long-term relationship. They don't want the chaotic relationship that they had with you. They don't want a repeat of this. If you're their ex wife or husband, they don't want to get a divorce a second time. They don't want to be that person who has 3 ex-husbands or 3 ex-wives. They want the next relationship to be stable and forever, the way marriage is supposed to be. So I feel like they're kind of taking their time. They're not rushing into anything serious right now. But believe me, when they do decide to get married again, it's their intention that it's going to be forever. They do not want to deal with another divorce, a crazy divorce again. They don't want to, or if you guys weren't married, they don't want to deal with having been with someone for 20 years and then having to start over again, yet again. Because I feel like you guys were together for a long time. They're still contemplating whether or not this is the relationship, the long-term relationship for them. And I don't feel from these cards here that they feel that this is the person they're going to marry a second time. They don't see, your ex doesn't see this new relationship lasting. And they also don't see it as being as strong as the one that you guys had at the beginning. Because obviously, it went downhill at some point. But I really feel like your relationship started off really, really strong. which makes sense if you guys eventually got married, if you're resonating with having gotten married. But even still, if you guys were together for a long time, it started off really strong. And this person doesn't feel that strength and that connection with this new person that they felt with you in the beginning. But at the same time, they are still happy to have a clear mind and no more of the bickering and the negative energy in this new relationship that they had with you at the end of your relationship. They're still happy with this sort of flowing, more calmer type of energy. This is more of a calm relationship. Your relationship was more tumultuous. This relationship that they're currently in is more calm, and they're happy for the more peace of mind, because especially if they have to deal with legal stuff with the separation, they're happy to have this calmness at home, because it's been a while since they've had this level of calm at home, because your home was tumultuous for a very long time. So let's dive into the archetype cards. This is how they feel about their current romantic partner. So right off the bat, monk/nun, upright. Like I said, they see this relationship as being stable but not long term. They see it as being a retreat, a nice sort of reprieve from your chaotic relationship, yours. They see it as being a nice reprieve. This is very much like someone who goes to a retreat or a convent or a monastery for a few weeks or a few months, or someone who just goes to the cottage for a few months or a few weeks to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life. This is how they view this relationship. They see it as being a nice retreat to the woods, to get away from the hustle and bustle of everyday city life. And your relationship was the hustle and bustle of city life. Magical child in reverse. Your person is still depressed over what happened, and they see this new partnership as being pure, but not as strong as yours, not as intense as yours, not as passionate. It's not as passionate. In reality, they're not having the same good sex that you guys were having. But like I said, your ex has a peace of mind now, and this person that they're with has a much more calmer demeanor, personality type than you. You really come off as like a fiery personality type. Probably you might be a fire sign. You might be a Scorpio, but this person is very Cancer, very Pisces, just very calm type of personality. You guys are like night and day, the two of you. You guys are like fire and water. You don't mix. I'm talking about you and this new girl that he's with. I'm saying male and female, like, you know, make it resonate if you're inquiring about an ex-female with a male. But regardless, your ex's new partner, she's much more calm than you. You're very chaotic and fiery and strong-willed, and she's more relaxed, more receptive, and he appreciates that energy from her. They don't really fight. She pretty much says yes to everything that he wants, and not in a pushover way. It's just her nature. She's very easygoing, and like I said, their relationship is not super intense, so there's nothing for her to really complain about, and they haven't been together for that long. So okay, thief. He sees her as having everything that he did not have with you. So it's really like yin and yang happening here. He had a lot of great things with you, a lot of great energies with you, like for one of them, sex. I can see that. And a strong connection. But with her, he has everything that he did not have with you. So the more someone who, I'm really seeing someone who like cooks him meals and listens to him talk about his day much longer, and doesn't really talk back, just like listens, you know? Because I really see her here as being very contemplative. I'm seeing kind of Libra as well. I said Cancer, Pisces. I'm also seeing Libra. She's very contemplative, very calm. She's very receptive to people, like allowing people to express themselves. She's very like, you know, elementary school teacher or counselor type of energy. And you're more like boss lady kind of energy. So it's yin and yang. She's the complete opposite of you. So probably when you met her, you were probably like taken aback. You know, she's like totally different, but that's the reason. He's had years and years with your type of energy. Now he wants something totally different, and he's enjoying the time with her. But like I said, he you know, he doesn't necessarily see it going long term. But for now, he's happy to have the reprieve. It's kind of like when you were in a fire and then you jump into a pool. She's the pool. That's really what I'm seeing. It's like he was on fire from your relationship and he just jumped into a nice pool, a kiddie pool. She's that cute little kiddie pool and he jumped into it. Like theoretically, and also, you know, sorry. He jumped in. Sorry. Okay. You got that. You know what I mean. So anyways, so he sees her as a reprieve. Yeah. Again, he sees her as being very compassionate. She is very compassionate. And he missed that compassion that he used to have with you. I feel like at some point you got kind of cold with him or very stern with him. And now he appreciates her compassion and the patience that she has. She doesn't lose patience with him as quickly as you did. Destroyer in reverse. Okay. So he sees her as, again, being the complete opposite of you. If you are like a volcano, she is like lava cooled down that hardens into an island that you can enjoy. So these cards are what she feels about him, how she feels about him. Okay, so she sees him as being someone who needs help right now. She sees him as being someone who is going through a lot and is depressed and is confused and needs comfort. That's how she sees him. Again, she sees him as someone who just got out of a messy divorce, a messy marriage or long-term relationship. She sees him as trying to get back on his feet and learn who he is, separate from his ex-wife, you. Because when you're with someone for a long time, you tend to merge with them. She sees him as being like, kind of like a child again, but not like more in an innocent kind of way, but not in a naive way or like a very gentle way. You know, I don't want to make him come off as super gentle, but she sees him as being a big puppy dog who needs caressing, a big, you know, bulldog or whatever, who's just a sweetheart and who right now got scared. You know, if you see a big bulldog and he gets scared by something in nature, like say there's a big lion running after him, you guys might be Leos. I did say fire sign for you guys, so there you go. And now the puppy dog's scared. That's how she sees him. A scared puppy dog. She sees him as being very, very charming. He probably brings her flowers and chocolate and little gifts really often. He does little things to make her smile and make her feel good. I feel like he tried to do these things with you, but you didn't really appreciate them, or you felt like they were a cover up for some other shortcomings of his, and you didn't accept these as a way to make up for the fact that he was lacking in some other way. And now he's with someone who appreciates these little details, and she does appreciate these little details of his. So she sees him as being very charming and very open and willing to helping her with things, and very he kind of dotes on her a bit, but not in a smothering way. Yeah, she sees him as being someone who's trying to figure out where he's going in life, what he's doing, like what's happening. Like I said, he was with you for a long time, so now he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, who he is without you. That's how she sees him. Midas in reverse, she sees him as someone who is a bit closed off with their emotions. So that's why I said, like, not, what did I say? Like, not super, like, he is like a puppy dog, but he still has a block. He still has walls up. So she sees him as being a bit fearful and not wanting to open up as much with her. But like I said, she's very patient with him. Because think about it, if someone, got bitten by a dog the last time they tried to pet a dog, they're going to be very wary about petting another dog. So if the last time he tried to open up about his emotions and how he felt with you, and you shut him down and yelled at him and made him feel like, not a man or whatever, he's not going to be he's going to be more wary about opening up with her. But at the same time, I do see him opening up with her. I do see him talking with her. I feel like that's one of the things that drew him to her in the beginning, because she was very patient. She's very mothering. She's a very mothering energy, even if she's young. And he does talk to her, but at the same time, he's still kind of afraid. And I also see him as, taking care of her, helping her. Maybe he might help her with some bills, not necessarily, but he does do things to like help her out, around her apartment, a little, like if she needs someone to pick her up from somewhere, he'll pick her up. She sees him as being very helpful. He's very helpful to her, but he's just still a little closed off with his emotions. Like he might take some time, like especially with this card here, Thinker in reverse. Like I said, he's really thinking about his entire life. He spent how many years with you, and now he's just wondering what the hell, like, I don't want to go through another messy divorce like that again. And she sees him as sitting on the couch or sitting wherever she catches him, deep in his thoughts. She's like, penny for your thoughts. And he doesn't give her the full penny. He just gives her a part of it, But he does open up to her, but not as much as he could, not as much as she would like. So those are your messages. I hope that resonated, and I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, and I will see you in my next reading.